Morning, everybody. How's it been? It's been almost 2 weeks since I made an episode. Got a lot of stuff going on. I last week ago Sunday, like 9 days ago, I DJ'd a 12-hour set, which was pretty nuts. It's supposed to be 6 hours, but they asked me to do a fundraiser in the morning. So I was there by 8:30, set up by 9. Fundraiser went until like 12:30. My normal set started at 3, but I'm like, I might as well just keep playing. And so I ended up playing a 12-hour set, which is kind of nuts. But when you bring as much vinyl as I do, and you play from as many different genres and eras as I do, it allows you to kind of stay fresh, and you don't get too worn out playing one same similar sound or vein. And when things kind of ease up and quiet down a little bit, I'll play kind of jazz stuff for a little bit, and blues, and things pick up again. I'll do some soul, R&B, and sprinkle in some classic rock. And luckily, one of my bartenders is a huge Bob Dylan fan, and it doesn't seem to matter on what Dylan song I play. He can usually sing a lot of the lyrics to it and know the words. And one of my servers is a big R&B fan, from soul all the way through to kind of neo soul, and she'll sing along almost everything I play as well. When you have your staff really responding and supporting you, it really makes for a cohesive team thing. And you certainly don't want your staff hating what you're doing, because if the staff hates you, they're going to make the patrons hate you, and you're not going to last very long. But if the staff embraces you and loves you and are singing along and loving your vibe, they're going to influence the patrons who come in to love you as well. And I mean, obviously, your relationship with the patrons is a one-on-one thing, but having the staff endorse you is a huge thing. Today we're going to talk about some of my fusion favorites, and this is stuff from the fusion era that I like to play a lot of my DJ sets. And fusion's an interesting hybrid that some people have the preconceived notion that this is what jazz is, but this is very much a hybrid of jazz, rock, and funk. By no means is it pure jazz. I mean, it's got so many other elements laced through it. It's accessible due to its R&B roots and its kind of rock crossover ideologies at times. But this electric piano right here, I mean, it's pocket funk, it's groove, it's got a nice little melody line. It's fun to sit in a bar when this is playing. And due to its instrumental nature, it stays kind of background, but it still has enough meat to it that it can kind of command an audience, and you're like, oh, what is this? This is cool. And a lot of your progressive rock stuff isn't gonna ever be this funky. And a lot of the fusion jazz is so sonically dense and edgy, and I mean, this is the perfect hybrid of R&B, jazz, rock, funk. It just has such a good feel and vibe. And of course, this is Bob James. And Bob James has a pretty solid jazz pedigree, but his CTI stuff had a real renaissance in the 2000s, late 90s, due to its constant sampling and DJs looking for it, going through looking for breaks. And a lot of the stuff did get sampled quite a lot. His early work, he has a record somewhere, late 60s. Can't remember where it was. I mean, it might have been mid 60s even. But it wasn't on CTI. But he eventually signs with CTI in probably 72 or so. And he does a series of great records for Creed Taylor. This one's 76, CTI 3. So maybe he was like 74 where he signs with CTI, 73, 74. This is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. All those records have great songs on them. Some are better than others. But, I mean, this one's called Westchester Lady. Interesting graphic layout. bit of a Reed Miles, perhaps. Is there something hidden in that? No, I don't think so. But it certainly fucks with my eyes, I'll tell you that. Great players abound on these record sessions. Oh, everything at CTI had incredible players on it. Had to grab my readers there, but I mean, there's some great players on these records. Harvey Mason, Andy Newmark, Grover Washington Jr., Eric Gale. I mean, it's always kind of a who's who of the 70s fusion era. So Westchester Lady Bob James, great song, great cut, real vibes. Another song that's absolutely fabulous. And all pocket all day long. Grover Washington, this is the greatest hits. A lot of his stuff was on Kudu, and Kudu was a subsidiary of CTI. Grover's a great, again, fusion era, crossover R&B guy. This is not Bitches Brew, blech. This is accessible, fun R&B. I mean, try playing Bitches Brew in a bar and see what happens. And all you Bitches Brew fans are going to be like, oh my god, such a great record, it's so brilliant. It's sonically unfun. It's not a fun record to listen to. It's interesting once in a while to push the limits and boundaries of sound, but it's not the brilliance that people accredit it to be to my ears. I mean, if you fucking love it, great. But, I mean, it's certainly not fun music to play for a group of people. You're not going to rock a party playing Phoenix and Pharaoh's Dance. It's just not going to happen. This is music that you can party to, have a cocktail to, a martini, I mean, a glass of beer, a margarita. It just oozes lounge vibes. Again, 70s, just fire, honestly. And all his early Kudu records are fantastic. This is just the greatest hits, obviously, that was on Motown. And if I remember, Motown kind of bought the CTI Kudu family eventually, and then Motown itself was bought. But It Feels So Good's great, Secret Place is great, Lean On Me's great. It's a great collection of his early Kudu stuff. And I mean, I think George Benson's on some of these tracks. Bob James is arranging it. I mean, so there's a lot of crossover in this era, which was true for almost every era. I mean, it's just gorgeous. It's feel, it's vibe, it's a setting. And so many of the fusion aficionados out there who want to profess their love and affection for this music will almost condemn this stuff and be like, oh, it's too saccharine, it's too... This stuff's sold for a reason. And if you buy these records, you will listen to them the rest of your life. They will always have a place in your life, at a barbecue, at a family gathering, at social events. They're sustainable. Whereas a lot of the stuff that's more on the edge, it's good if you want to have that air of sophistication. You get it so which everybody else doesn't get. But again, that shit nauseates me. I can't stand that type of fucking phony pretentiousness. And it doesn't impress any of the people you think it impresses. And let's just be real about it. I mean, people aren't going to be like, oh, you're so cool because you like music that sucks. You get it. I don't. Oh my God, I'm so impressed by you. I mean, you can choose to like stuff that's difficult. You can choose to like art that's difficult. You can choose to like movies that are inaccessible. It doesn't make you hipper than anybody else. It doesn't mean that everybody else doesn't get it. It means just you've chosen to like difficult art that's not meant for mass consumption. You can choose to like food that many people aren't going to want to drink, eat. I mean, you can brew a beer or make a wine that's very niche. Why can't we accept that sometimes music is niche and it needs to stay niche and it's always going to be niche? And that this stuff like this is not niche. This is middle of the road. This is accessible. It's fun. It's stuff that your friends are going to be like, oh, I like that. What is that? Can you play that some more, please? This is George Duke. And George Duke, great organ, piano, electric piano player. Played with Zappa for a while. also had a lot of success in the crossover R&B fusion jazz vein. And he created something called G-Funk, which was a fairly direct interpretation of P-Funk. It's all about space, all about that room. This was a fairly big hit in the R&B charts. I think it might have even gotten to number 1 in the R&B charts. Of course, R&B charts and pop charts are very different beasts. And this would have been like 76, I think, 77. But this is not disco. This is straight funk. This is straight West Coast G-Funk, Dr. Dre vein. I mean, it's fun. It's pocket. It's called "Reach for It" by George Duke. Duke has a lot of great work. I like a lot of his albums, and this song really hit a mark. It really hit a vein, and it's all pocket, man. It's just like you can sit back and get your funk on. It's not too busy, and I mean a lot of the Parliament Funkadelic stuff is too busy at times, which is part of what makes songs like "Flashlight" and "We Tear the Roof Off the Sucker." Those songs are so great because they're the more minimal side of Parliament Funkadelic. Parliament Funkadelic can be very dense and very busy, and funk functions best in open space. James Brown wrote that template, and Brown often dismissed people because they were too busy. Guys like Bootsy Collins, who spent a lot of time in P-Funk. I mean, Brown wanted the minimalism to always remain because the space is what creates the shapes and patterns. That's what funk is. I mean, there's a groove that's a shape. It's the repetition of that shape, that pattern, that groove that makes it danceable. And you just find that movement, and then you repeat that movement. And it's something so lost on so much rock and roll, so much, all the fusion stuff totally goes away from space, from openness, from pattern, from repetition. And what makes something danceable is pattern repetition. And that's kind of the difference between the accessible R&B fusion stuff and the stuff that's more avant-garde. I mean, there's a big difference. And when you start becoming too busy, it certainly changes the focus of what that song is attempting to achieve. Next we're going to talk our man Roy Ayers. I'm a big fan of Roy Ayers. This is "Running Away" from his Lifeline record. Again, this song charted on the R&B charts and charted fairly well. I played this song for years in the clubs. It's classic Roy Ayers. Ayers, of course, has a pedigree that goes back to the 60s, great vibraphonist. But his 70s stuff was very much R&B crossover. And like I said, when I DJed in the black community for years, this is what most of those people thought when they said, "Can you play some jazz?" They didn't want to hear Monk, they didn't want to hear Myles, they didn't want to hear any of that classic jazz. They certainly didn't want to hear "Fucking Bitches Brew." They wanted to hear Grover Washington, George Benson, Roy Ayers, Ronnie Laws. This is the shit they were really veining for. And again, it's all pocket. It's got a bit of a disco flair to it. Some of these guys sing on their records. Sometimes they hire a singer to sing on these tracks. But again, you're always being backed by some of the most insane talent that was available in the jazz world at this point, in the funk world at this point. Incredible stuff. All these songs are so fun. I mean, solid R&B right here. This is the great Ronnie Laws. Again, space, pocket, rhythm and blues. Such good stuff. It's stuff that, again, that I've played for just years of the clubs. And it's the kind of stuff that people are going to come up to me like, "Hey, yo, man, what did you just play? That was Smoke." And this is Ronnie Laws' Friends and Strangers, 75, 77 actually. Great players exist throughout these recordings, of course. Back on Saturday. It's just fun stuff, and people try to be too sophisticated and too much they get it. And it's just not necessary. Being fun is a lot of what this is supposed to be about. This is a flautist, which I love saying that word, flautist. Sounds like a Mexican shell of some kind, a flauta. This is You Make Me Feel So Good by Bobby Humphrey. Again, the pocket, some of the funkiest, most wonderful feel. If I remember, this was a Myel brother production. It's just a fun. I like a lot of Bobby Humphrey stuff. Her Blue Note stuff from this era is really fabulous. It's got that same. I've been playing this song in my set for probably 20 years. Never really got tired of it. You Make Me Feel So Good. But a lot of her songs are really fabulous. Fancy Dancer's great. It's just good stuff. One of my favorite guys, of course, is Don Berg. This is Places and Spaces. Another Myel production. Myel Brothers. This whole record and Stepping in Tomorrow are both two of my favorite records of this era. Again, very driven by bass and drums, which makes them very accessible, open pocket. The horn playing is lovely and light and floats across. Berg's a fantastic player. And I don't think Berg sings much on these. I think he has other people sing on some of these. He might sing a little here and there. I can't remember exactly. Domino is what this one's called. Just a huge fan of it. I'm going to show you one more song. And this one is going to be a bit more on the outside. So now this is a little bit more edgy fusion. It's Herbie Hancock, Thrust. And his mid-70s records are real interesting crossovers. Real exploratory. Benny Maupin's in the mix. I mean, the Headhunters were just fabulous. But interesting instrumentation always as well, with the percussion, the bass clarinets. I mean, there's just some fun stuff happening in this. But again, it's not the density of Bitches Brew. There's pocket, there's melody. It's a more enjoyable listen than Bitches Brew, but it's more grafting towards that with some of its sounds and song lengths. And I mean, again, it's very progressive, much more so than some of the straight R&B stuff that we were just talking about. Herbie's a innovative guy and a real leader of the pack in a lot of ways. And I mean, I used to see guys playing this album and some of his other records from this era at the fusion clubs where we'd go and see on a Tuesday night guys playing fusion jazz. You know what I mean? I've always played the Herbie stuff. And again, they're long tracks, so it's hard to sit there for 15 minutes while these songs play out, which I never do. I usually fade them out after so long, but I mean, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. And I mean, if you guys like it, I can show you more of these tracks. There's so much good stuff here. Roy Benson, I mean, Blackbirds, Tom Brown, I mean, Funk for Jamaica's classic, The Crusaders, Herb Alpert had some cuts that were great. And again, a lot of these songs have been sampled by the hip hop guys of the 90s and 2000s. So, interesting pedigree, interesting part of jazz history as jazz kind of fuses into the trunk of pop music and rock music and soul music and funk music, and loses its own kind of vein because its own lane had kind of just been dispersed at this point. Jazz was kind of really a dying art form, sadly. I know there's going to be a few purists like, oh no, jazz is still alive. There's shadows of jazz alive. I mean, there's just not any kind of audience for it that's really making it a legitimate art form to the mainstream. I mean, and that's sad because, I mean, you talk to the average person out here in Trumpland, most of them would have a hard time naming a jazz artist, including the Armstrongs and Miles Davises. Not to mention the infinite diaspora of small names that nobody could ever name. So it's certainly a valid art form that needs to be continued, but it's definitely lost any kind of mainstream appeal, which is unfortunate. But this stuff will still have that Main Street appeal if you play it at a party or an event, which is what makes it of value. It's interesting, it's fun, it's rhythmic, it's grooving. Again, it's all pocket all day long, and that's the essence of what good fusion to me is about. Y'all be safe. Appreciate y'all for watching. I'm really busy lately with a lot of things going on, but I'm gonna try to get a next episode up really quickly. I think I'm gonna get back to some Blue Note treasures on my next episode. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.